meetings for lunch and learn. So I'm kind of trying to get all the pieces together, a lot of pieces to work. And so.
Yeah. So what,
Online services.
gotcha. Okay. So like virtual assistant services.
Right.
Okay.
I'm doing home health visits, but it's really slow. So I'd like to do my own home
Okay.
mobile visits. It would be probably cash pay versus insurance. I don't need another step of complications.
Right. Well, I think you're in the right place. I've got to say, we've got just some dynamic entrepreneurs here that are part of Beautiful Faces Going Places, and wealth of knowledge and information to tap into. So
yes, always learning, always growing, for sure.
Exactly, exactly. Well, Carol Walkner, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you. Good to be here. I'm Carol Walkner. My company is the Power and Light Company. I am a Reiki master and an energy healer and a clairvoyant medium. And it seems, well, you all know, everyone's under stress and anxiety and like, ooh. So I can help people with that. I help you relieve your stress and take out that anxiousness that sits right here on our chest so heavily. And I use the mediumship to contact the spirit world to find out what's next for you and what direction you might want to go in now that your life got stalled or your business got stopped or whatever's going on. So, and I work remotely. I've got clients all over the world actually. And I used to work in person and I can still do that, but most of it's remote and it works just as well. So that's me. Take the stress out of your life. Give me a call. Thank you.
Awesome, Carol. And you are actually going to be hosting a Spark Conversations, Make New Connections. I believe it's August the 27th at noon.
Yes, it is.
So tell us a little bit about that. Because I love the title of your talk, your training.
I developed a program called the Dragon's Way many years ago, and it's kind of personal growth, but it's really getting clarity and direction for your life. And the dragon represents strength, deep spirituality of self, and wisdom and transformation. So the Spark Conversation will be all about strength. So which is, I believe, what we need right now to combat that, a lot of the stress and the anxiety. And there'll be some experiential exercises and a lot of sharing of what we can do to stay the wonder women that we really are and to get back into self-discovery and let's have some more clarity of where we're going. And so this will start that ball rolling. So
awesome.
I appreciate.
We're looking forward to that, Carol, on August 27th at 12 o'clock. And the event has already been created. It's on Eventbrite. It is free, so just sign up and come and join us. And of course, we always follow it with Q&A and a round of networking. So it's going to be awesome. All right.
We'll have some fun too.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say something. I've hired Carol to work for me before, and I've found very positive results working with her. She's really good.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. I love you.
I think I probably tap into her once a month as well. So she has worked wonders for me, taking away that stress. And yeah, she's pretty awesome. Pretty special lady. Thank you, Carol. Brandy, welcome, and so good to see you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to be here. Sorry for the delay. But yeah, so Brandy White, and I am not yet an entrepreneur, but in pursuit. I met Carol Dockum just a few weeks ago, and I've joined a few of her events, and they're lovely. And I also know Carol Walkner. So Carol Walkner introduced me to Carol Dockum, and so thank you, ladies. And yes, and I would certainly share the same sentiment about Carol Walkner. As I saw her just a few weeks ago, and it was a really great experience. And she's a really beautiful woman. So thank you so much, Carol Walkner. And I'm excited to be here with all of you. Thanks for having me, Carol Dockum.
Oh, I'm thrilled that you're here, Brandy. And Brandy and I had a great conversation. I believe it was last week. And she is on her entrepreneurial journey herself. And I just cannot wait to see what you create, and then also to celebrate you and with your launch, because I think you're onto something pretty special.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, how about if you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Gray. I know some of you here, and I'm a videographer, and I take videos and edit them and help people with social media questions and things like that. And I kind of wear a number of different hats. So with regards to different photographs, pictures, ideas, you know, I can help out. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and I know we've seen Jim in action. I'm thinking back to that event that you and I and Shannon Donestay hosted, helping small business owners really videotape their 60-second commercial. That was a lot of fun, great experience, and I'm almost thinking it's time to do it again. So
I know, if they're open.
I know, exactly. I think we're all just kind of have been just kind of stepping back a little bit to, okay, when are things going to be able to open up and we can actually start seeing each other in person? Because I know we all miss one another. So that would be awesome.
Be nice.
Yeah. Mary Ann, good to see you here. Do you want to unmute yourself? Let me see. We can't hear you, Mary Ann. Can you hear me?
Alrighty, I'm Mary Ann
Oh,
Chapel.
there you are.
Okay, I'm a skin consultant for Rodan and Fields, and I also do writing articles for the new magazine that was just being published. It's called the Hip Senior. I hope all of you have tried to have the magazine come to your email. Be a subscriber to the magazine.
Well, Mary Ann, we are really excited to read your article in the Hip Senior magazine. It's a brand new online magazine created by Mary Ann Bailey and with online tech lessons. And I know I have written an article for her magazine, I think a month ago, and it's pretty cool. So we look forward to that, Mary Ann. I just want to remind everyone to be sure to put your contact information, your business card in the chat box, so that after this event is over, if there's someone that is really intriguing to you and you'd like to connect and have a further conversation, schedule that one-on-one. I really want to encourage you to do that, because that's how we build relationships. And I think we've gone, let's see here, I believe we have Carol Coy and Teresa Vermillion that still need to just introduce themselves. And then we will go on to our special programming with our special guest speaker presenter today, Maritza. We're so excited to have her here. So Teresa, how about if you take it away?
Absolutely. Thank you. I am Teresa Vermillion. My business is Lighter Life Coach. I am a certified personal trainer, certified health coach, and my specialty is to take the best life coaching techniques and I merge them with fitness and health so that you can get a lighter body and a lighter life.
And who doesn't want that, right? I think I've got the lighter life going, but the lighter body I'm still working on, but
I got you. But yeah, you know, it's all connected. It really is all connected. I feel like the fitness and health and wellness industry got it a little bit wrong. They didn't mean to.
Right.
They were all about changing behaviors and teaching us we need to pound our bodies to look a certain way. And really, it's all with everything starts in our head.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what makes me so unique as I start working on your beliefs first, and we're going to change your beliefs, which makes it easier to change your habits to be healthy. So it's a fun space to be in, because
that's why I love what you do, Teresa, and I love the Lighter Life Coach that you've recently created. I think that's so cool and very on point. So yeah, Well, thank you for joining us. Cynthia and Carol Coy, we are just going around the room. I think we're nearly complete, but we'd love for you to introduce yourselves. It's nice that you're here for Virtual Business Week.
I just found out about it today from Maritza at the success strategy that we were at this morning. So I'm very excited to be forward to it.
Well, we're thrilled that you're here. And Maritza, thank you for sharing this event with your network and your people, because it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous time and a great training. So thank you. Carol Coy, if you can hear me, we'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Hi, Carol. Yeah, I just got the notice as well this morning from Celeste.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I've worked with Celeste for about 5 years now. So
that's great.
Yeah, I love her. I am with Monate, and I see we have Martha on here as well with Monate. I try to help people with their hair journey because someone helped me. You've already heard what she does. That's pretty much what I do. I'm also an author. My main business is the Stork's Accomplice. I'm a baby planner, maternity concierge. So I work with a lot of pregnant women. And I'm also in the process with my brother of starting an Airbnb. We're converting our 70-year-old farmhouse near Helen, Georgia, into a really cool romantic farm experience. So.
Wow. Well, that's you've got a lot going on, Carol.
I do. I'm busy right now. But it's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I hope you get some fabulous value. I'm sure you will. And meet new faces, make new connections. That's what we're all about here. Well, we are going to go ahead and dive into our programming. I want to say thank you so much to Jim Gray with Gray Time Solutions for volunteering to be our wingman here and to really navigate our waiting room and our chat box. Make sure you put your business card and contact information in the chat box. And we are going to move on to our speaker presenter. And then afterwards, you can fire away and ask Maritza any questions that you might have. And then we're going to do a round of networking. So that's what we're here to do, right? So let's get started. So I'm really, really pumped up to introduce to you Maritza Coscarelli with MC Coaching. In her interactive and dynamic talk, You Can't Be a Secret and a Success, professional certified coach and chief confidence booster Maritza Coscarelli draws upon her years of experience on international stages, screens, and in conference rooms to debunk the idea that being highly visible, vocal, and vital in any industry is reserved for those who are naturals. Actually, through thought leaders, business leaders, and speakers are developed through the processes and the practices that get you there. So today we are here to learn how to get visible, vocal, and vital like never before. So please help me welcome Maritza. Maritza, we're happy to have you here.
I'm happy to see all the beautiful faces.
Yes.
Hey guys, I don't have sharing for a PowerPoint. May I have the host permission to share?
Yes.
Please? But we'll start without. Can we talk? Who remembers who said that? Can we talk? Anybody? I'm so aging myself. Who would say that all the time? Joan Rivers. Am I really that old now, like such a dinosaur? Can we talk? Do you remember now that that was always her opening? Oh my goodness. So the most remarkable things can happen if you're willing to make a complete fool of yourself. Raise your hand. Are you willing?
I think I already have.
When I was so young, you think you already have? Yeah, I have several times. So you guys, when I was so young, I remember being out at the theater as an audience member. I was used to being on the stage. So I was an audience member. And these women started to arrive and they were wearing red. I love wearing red. I'm wearing black today, but usually Carol has seen me a lot in my photographs. You'll see me around social media. And I always have this orange red. That's one of my brand colors. And, but they were all wearing red and big purple hats. Who knows what that is? Anybody? Teresa, speak up. You can unmute yourselves. We're gonna like interact here. We're gonna have a conversation. Good, Teresa.
The red hat ladies or the purple hat ladies?
Well, there's the Purple Hat Society. So they're wearing red and they wear purple hats. Did I say red hats? Yeah, they wear purple hats. So it's the Purple Hat Society. And what are these ladies? Do you know what they represent?
They are middle-aged to maturing women that I guess are like having fun and being around crazy and not sitting in their rocking chairs waiting for the spider webs to form around them. They're out living life and having fun and making statements wherever they go.
Having fun, getting out, and making statements. Now, why should we wait till we can be part of the Purple Hat Society to do what Teresa just said? Why do we decide not to be distinctive? Why? And you could come up with all kinds of excuses. You can actually write down, why do I decide not to be distinctive? Right? You want to be one of the guys, one of the gals. You don't want to stand out. Oh my gosh, I'm too loud, too fat, too thin, too old, too many wrinkles. I have too much to say. I have nothing to say. I'm an introvert, right? Any of that play through your head? In other words, we have a million reasons that become our excuses not to be visible. They even become our excuses not to live a joyful, fulfilled, and balanced life. Because honestly, Cynthia was with me this morning at Success Strategies Group, where I told my background story. You'll hear a little bit of it today. And honestly, the reason we play small happens way back in our past. But guess what? It's like the Lion King. Put your back end in the past, because it's gone. You can take that story and you can write a whole new meaning, because it isn't the story that matters. And it isn't what you desire that matters. It's the meaning that you give everything. We're humans. And so Betty.
You know, I think though, I'm probably, I love the word maturing, the age I'm at. When we want to, and excuse me, is it James or Jim? Do you go by James or Jim?
You can call me Jim.
Okay. You know, so excuse me, Jim, this is not to be a sexist remark, but it is that I think, we went into PowerPoint. When we wanted to break into the old boys club, when we wanted to get into the male only schools, when we wanted to get into Rotary and all of that, what we did is we also let men define how we should enter. Ask the women in Congress who first entered Congress. They could not wear pants. They had to wear a skirt. When Bella Abzug hit Congress with her big hats and her outrageous dresses, there's a basis for that transferring. The change that women have to and it's, the purple hat aside, to not do that anymore. That just, there's that.
Betty, you are so on. I love that you had that light bulb moment and that you shared that, because right now I'm reading a book called Shakti, S-H-A-K-T-I. That's a Sanskrit word. I'm a yogi. Shakti leadership. And it's talking about the male and female energies of leadership. And this is not about gender or sexual identity. It's about an energy. We all have the yin and yang. We all have the male and female, the masculine and feminine. And what happened, right? Women, the power of women, which is often intuitive, empathetic, colorful, compassionate, nurturing, all this power is the power of Gaia, of Mother Earth. You're gonna get me on a whole soapbox here now, Betty. Sorry, Betty, but I love it. And what happened was anything that threatens the status quo and the people who want the power gets diminished, gets criticized, and gets labeled and put in a box. It's a matter of control. So this has happened through ancestral times, through all times. They burned witches at the stake. They were witches because they were naturally intuitive and motherly, right? So it's not to say that this is something we have to live with. It's just that I totally agree with Betty. So the power of women is such, I mean, think about it, right? As a couple, right, we procreate, but the women birth, nurture, feed the babies. Now, James, I don't know if you've ever birthed a baby, but I can tell you. Good, I'm glad you had to answer that though. But I can tell you I've birthed two naturally without any intervention. And women have an incredible, I believe, God-given divine power, right? And men were threatened by this. Men have another issue, and I'm gonna vouch for my guys too. They are put in another box and given another label. You're a producer, you're a provider. Oh, what do you mean you're not going to get to see your kids? Oh, what do you mean you're not going to help me at home, right? Because you're busy going, oh my gosh, now I have 2 mouths to feed. Now I have 4 mouths to feed. So what happens has a lot to do with getting visible, vocal, and vital. Knowledge, social construct, domestication, different authors call it different things. What it does, it's taking you away from what was naturally yours to begin with. We are intrinsically powerful beyond belief because we are natural. And nature has a normal cycle of life, death, rebirth that makes us very, very powerful. And when we're born, we know this. And when we learn all the things from all the people, we forget this. And then we start to hide. We start to hide, and I'll tell you exactly when I did it. I'm so happy to have my face plastered on this first slide. I hated my school pictures. Anyone else not like, remember when we used to pay a lot of money, our parents, it was a lot of money for them back then. And they were actually printed packets, and you had to buy like the $83 packet, and your parents splurged on it because they wanted to send one to Aunt Susie and Grandma, and Grandpa wanted his own for his wallet. Do you remember this? And they were often, whoops, somebody's ringing. Ding, ding, James will let them in. They were hideous pictures, I thought. All I could see in my school pictures year after year was everything that was wrong with me. Where did that come from? It is a normal happening. It's called the ego. The ego is there to keep you safe, to keep you secure, to keep you without rocking the boat too much. Because back in the day, if you were being chased by the Siberian tiger, you needed to stay alive. So the ego serves that purpose. Well, guess what else the ego does? It makes you function within all the things that you were told will please people, keep everyone else happy, and fit, like Betty described, some kind of social construct that's been set. You're a girl, so you wear a skirt. You're a man, so you wear the pants. You're a woman, so you stay home. Or even better, then the 70s came along, you're Superwoman. You can fry up the bacon in a pan and make the money and raise the kids. I tried that. I almost had a nervous breakdown. That's a story for a different day, right? So yes, we can do, be, and have it all, but we can't be, do, and have it all at the same time, male or female. So I digress. When I plastered this photo on this PowerPoint for you, I was so happy. I was happy because my level of clarity, self-love, and visibility is such today that all I see in every single one of you looking at this screen at all your little thumbnails is beauty. Because the love and beauty you have for yourself, you too, James, so beautiful. The love and beauty you have for yourself, the judgment of that is the same as you judge other people. The reason we are hard on other people, other businesses, what we see, and then we become shy about showing ourselves is because we're in our judger's mind instead of our learner's mind. In our learner's mind, we just want to see things. We don't want to give everything meaning. We just want to learn. So let's move on here and see what happens next. So you're in the right place. If you have, let me move your thumbnails so I can read my own slide. If you have a product, a service, a message to get out in the world, you are also in the right place if you want your public presence and presentations to match how you feel on the inside. You know you're capable. You know you have skills, you have talents, you have tools, you have products, but you want your public presenting of it to match how you feel inside. Because I know what that gnawing feeling is like. It's like a horse ready to race at the gate, and you're chomping at the bit because you just can't seem to get them to open the door and let you out. So you've got this powerful inner being, and you're just dying to get it out. It would be great if you use this as free marketing. You're gonna build a brand and build a business, and you're not gonna be paying for it. Back in the day, do you know what they paid for postcards and magazine advertising and television minutes? Do you know what it cost to buy a commercial on TV? I saw a commercial the other day, I swear it was 10 seconds. I was like, wow, they had a little budget. They got their point across, right? We don't need that today. We can build a very viable, vital brand without that, just with being visible and vocal. And so if you're ready today, right away, to step into your most authentic and calm self, and why wouldn't you be, right? It's a lot of fun. It's like wearing a purple hat to the show. And it was Menopause the Musical, by the way, so that's why I was at Menopause the Musical at like 35. It was fun. All right, so if this is you, then you're in the right place. If this is not you, I want you to think very carefully while you're listening, and I want you to jot down a takeaway, one pearl of wisdom. one question that comes up in your mind, one aha moment during the presentation. You might have more than one, but put down at least one, and that will tell you exactly why you were brought here at this moment. Believe me, there's a reason bigger than any of us that you're here at this moment. So think about it for a second. I'd actually like you to write down one sentence that says, I am here today, ... You fill in the blank. I am here today to. I am here today because. And kindly finish that statement. I'm going to mute myself while you write. I don't see everyone on my screen while I'm sharing, but if you haven't finished, you can keep this question and actually address it further later. But who is willing to speak out, unmute yourself, because I can't see everyone raising their hands, and let me know who is willing to share what brought you here today in about 10 seconds that hasn't spoken up yet. Unmute yourself, please.
All
Jim?
right. I was going to say, I'll go ahead and go just to kick us off, okay?
Okay.
So yes, I am here today to share brilliance, deliver value, and connect with like-minded individuals who want more out of life, to be all that they can be.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Carol. Carol is on purpose. We're going to talk about being on purpose. Anyone else want to share? I know, hard act to follow, Carol, but be brave. We're about being visible here. Betty?
Yes, I've already shared, but I wrote very briefly. I'm here this today because this is Stretch Month. As a result of COVID, I have really shifted how I'm doing my business as a healthy living revolutionary, specifically to that. And so I'm not getting back in my car. I'm done with driving all over town to build a business. I'm going to be using Zoom and social media. And so this is Stretch Month. I'm availing myself to various business coaches, mastermind groups, and training sessions to really learn how to most effectively use social media to grow my business. And I figured that this week's worth of coaching would probably be really good fit for Stretch Month.
You are in the right place at the right time. That is awesome. And I love that metaphor, that idea of stretching. We can talk about that again in a moment. Thank you very, very much. Anyone else itching to share? I see some quiet faces, quiet, beautiful faces. Brandy, how did you know I was talking about you, beautiful? Tell me what brought you here today, please. I'd love to hear.
Yes. So as I mentioned, I'm in pursuit of a business idea that I've had for almost 2 years now. And I'm just now beginning to really share those ideas outside of my close family and friends. And it's sort of a scary place to be, right? Because when you start telling more people, then it sort of makes you more accountable, and which is great, which is why I'm continuing to do it. But then I also think about my personal brand and how I want to continue to build that brand in preparations for when I am ready to share my business with the general public. That people will say, oh, that makes sense that Brandy would do what she's doing right now. That makes complete sense. So I'm excited for what you have in store for us today, Maritza. Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for speaking up. And guess what? You are now out of the closet.
That's right.
You never have to hide it from family, friends, or anyone else again. And guess what? You're already a brand. Your brand will evolve every day in every way. But let's get going and see what you can take away from today. I'm so happy you're here. You're in the right place at the right time. What if who you think you are is standing in the way of who you are really meant to be? We think that a brand is connected to our self-image. Like, I'm here representing what I think I am. I'm here to tell you, I bundled that up like a piece of paper and threw it in the trash. I'm not here to present an image to you. I'm here to present the naked truth. If you saw me this morning, you would see the same person you're seeing now, and Carol knows me a bit now. Sonia's on this call. People who have seen me multiple times, what people end up saying about you, right, tells you a lot about your truth. And so if all you're presenting is an image, you're cheating yourself and you're cheating the public of all your magnificence. Your magnificence lies in who you are at this very present moment. That is also where your joy, fulfillment, creativity, and money are. They are who you are and where you are in this very moment. Why do I pause and take a deep breath? I hope you're taking one too. Your joy, your fulfillment, your creativity, all the money, all the business, all the life that you desire is right here, right now. I'll tell you why I say that. Because you're hiding in plain sight. A long time ago, there was a little girl with big curly frizzy hair, dressed in a green corduroy overall suit most of the time. I don't know why they dressed her like a teddy bear, but they did. And on Sunday nights, it was variety show time. Back then, what's today America's Got Talent was actually professional performers, and they would be on with a host like Ed Sullivan or Lawrence Welk, and they would get to show their wares of singing and dancing and whatever. And this little girl loved that so much that she would stand right in front of the television. She would lip sync and dance to the twist and the Beatles, right? And her father would laugh and clap at first, very proud. There's photos of this. But he liked to drink. And eventually he would start telling her, you need to sit still. You need to stop. We're trying to watch the television. Can you move away? He would pick this little curly haired girl up at probably 4 years old, toss her into her room and slam the door. Of course, the little girl would cry. Eventually she knew how to write, and she'd grab her crayons and make a little heart. She'd say, I'm good, I'll be good. And she'd pass it under the door. All she wanted was to be let out. Fast forward, this little girl becomes a pre-adolescent. And every time she wants to speak up in class, every time she wants to be the first to go in the dance studio, she gets a golf ball in her neck that hurts. Have you ever had that feeling? Every time she tried to raise her hand, her eyes would water. Right? Because that little girl had learned, I better be quiet, play small, and dim my light, or I am not going to be liked, and I am going to get in trouble with the authorities. So what happened to that little girl? A lot happened, and a lot of it wasn't pretty. And it led her to recovery programs. It led her to yoga teachers and Reiki practitioners, and you name it, there was a village that she found. Because if she didn't do that, she didn't think she could go on living. I was that little girl. Now what changed? Not a whole lot. All the learning you're doing is actually about undoing everything and every experience that brought you exactly here back to it being something that happened for you and not to you. It's an advantage. Every story, every occurrence. I say this, I wouldn't change a thing. There's no place I'd rather be, and I have no regrets. Why? Because if anything was different, everything would be different. And I don't want that. Neither do you. You just want to be the fullest, most brightest, brilliant, thoughtful, generous version of you that you are right now. And I don't even know you, because that's what most humans really want. We think we want all the clients, all the money. Well, what does that get you? Why do you want that? I ask you this, I give you your first takeaway. today. Every time you want or desire something, change it to desire. After desire, change it to I claim that. I claim that, fill in the blank, because it already exists for you. All you have to do is go out and let it come to you, receive it. That's all you have to do. And it sounds like, oh gosh, here she goes with the woo-woo stuff that doesn't really work. Well, sure, you have to take the action steps. But the minute you decide that it's yours, it will be yours, whether it will be 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, or 20 years. So what could possibly go wrong? If you decided to dream that big and to really show up and to be all over the internet and all over written blogs and just be out there with your purple or green or blue hat or whatever you decided, your red lipstick, whatever you decided, what could possibly go wrong? Well, I don't lie to you. So honestly, a lot of things could go wrong. Think for a moment of everything that could go wrong. If we got off this call today and you decided to do your first or your 100th Facebook Live, what could go wrong? The technology could fail. You could forget what you wanted to say. You could decide that you got distracted because your lips look crooked and your hair is just not right, right? A lot of things could go wrong. Your internet could go out. And then what? The beauty of it is we are not heart surgeons. Maybe one of us is. Raise your hand if you're a heart surgeon. Hats off to you. We are not saving lives here. Or maybe we are. But you allowing yourself to make the big mistakes, whatever they might be, is the only way you're going to connect with your audience, the person who needs your product, service, ideas, advance, right? That's the only way you're going to do it. If you show up perfect, they're going to be so turned off. But this is scary. Most people would rather be in the casket than give the eulogy. I'm sure you've heard that before. So what is this fear about? This fear is ego-based. Carol expressed why she was here today. On point, 100%. Why? Because she has worked that out. It is called her purpose. If your reason why you do what you do or want to do what you're about to do is bigger than your ego, your purpose wins. When you are showing up because you know that someone, just a someone, or someones, I say later in my presentation, out there will be better for it because you showed up for them, everything that matters outside of that will disappear little by little by little. Because in fact, you might be the person that they've been waiting for. There's so much in the universe that there is enough for all of us. So it might not be me. They might see me and be completely turned off. And then they'll see Carol and they'll be like glued to Carol because it was meant to be that connection. It's like particles and it's meant to land there. So what to expect in the fear zone? It messes with your confidence. I can't tell you how confident I thought I was till I showed up, it's almost 2 years ago now, at my business and mindset coaches conference and retreat. I showed up, as Brené Brown says, armored up, dressed to the nines. I know my shit. I am going to sit in the back, make my day. Let's see what she's got that's so much different and so much better than every other cheerleader coach, right? Because a lot of coaches are cheerleaders. They have no strategy, no system behind this. I'm getting to the system. But see, if you don't clear out the other stuff, it's very hard to absorb the system. Day one, I was armored up. Day two, I was broken down to pieces. Oh, I meant to put the picture there for you. They caught me at the microphone and on the big screen in the ugly cry of shame, releasing all the shame. And by day three, I had hired her. And my business has 3 times in a 1.5 years since I started working with her. How did she do that? What did she speak to? 3 things. Elimination. Clear out the garbage that stands in your way. This idea of who you think you are needs to be cleared out like you would put Drano in a pipe. Second thing is a process. If somebody's selling you the magic pill and charging you a lot of money and they're not putting you to work with them, run the other way. But if you work with me, I will take you through the process. You go through a process of transformation. I wish it could be overnight. And for some people, it kind of does go like bing, like a light switch. But then it takes practice, because the minute they step away from the processes and the practices that we're working on, they just bounce back. We go back to default because it's very comfy there. It's like the sheets, right? It's very comfy in the sheets at 5 a.m. You're like, I don't want to get out of bed at 5. How do people do this? It's so comfy. So it's comfy where you are. So your reasons become your excuses. And then steps in the general public. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. If they mind that I look a certain way, if they mind the sound of my voice, if they mind that I have decided to make it my purpose to have a process of ongoing personal and professional development for women and special men like James that show up, right? If they mind that, they're not for me. Go your merry way. It's okay. I go la, 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 like it doesn't affect me, right? I decided 2 years ago to scratch out the word TOO because Betty mentioned it. Part of the construct of holding back Black people, Indigenous people, people of color, holding back, and I'm not political here, it's just the truth, right? Keeping women down in a certain way. All of this out of fear, right, is people that have external power. I help you get your intrinsic internal power turned on so you can feel and embody the very highest version of yourself and you can act like it. And all of a sudden, you don't even have time to catch the opinions of others. There's so much fun stuff you're doing and you're so engaged in your work day in, day out. And when you're having fun, you're having fun. Even when you're working, it's like playing, right? So what are your top 3 fears? Maybe it's one of these. Maybe you've got your own. I have a client who expressed her top fear is I'm going to disappoint the bosses. And she's in her own business. They have expectations that I don't think I can meet. And I said, wait, who's the boss? And she like took a pause and said, oh my gosh, I am. Like the only way you can disappoint someone is not doing your work. You can turn them off. You can have some haters out there. You might have to block them. But when you're doing your work, the only standard and expectation that you need to work towards is the one that you want to meet. So what are your top 3 things that scare the heck out of you? Write them down and do this. In the past, the fear that stopped me was So at Stanford University, Carol Dweck did the study that created the growth mindset, philosophy and theories and ideas, researched them heavily and presented them to children. Children are really great at acting fearlessly and being uncomfortable. They don't really know differently because they understand that everything starts somewhere. First time you get on the bicycle, it's going to be a little wobbly and a little scary, right? As adults, we start to conform and be on automatic pilot to what is comfortable to us because this is the way I am. And believe it or not, neuroplasticity and emotional intelligence, the EQ, are things that build and can be plied and molded as you get older. Your actual analytical intelligence, your IQ and your swiftness and your memory and your balance and other things may naturally diminish with age. But the reason you see some incredible people doing incredible things when they have their health up in age is because their emotional intelligence increases, they're working that, and they're neuroplastic, so they can teach their brain new tricks. As long as they start to affirm and believe and behave a certain way on a regular basis, all of a sudden, they can make what they dream a belief and what they believe an action, and then they can release the results. Because if you're acting on what you desire, the results are yours for the taking. But are you willing to get uncomfortable? What's the most remarkable thing you are willing to do and feel really uncomfortable and rather off and foolish, and that you know that if you do it again and again, it's going to get easier and feel better? When was the last time you did a novel thing that way? And think in your lifetime when you've done that and what the results have been. So I was in a little neighborhood dance studio most of my childhood, like age 4 till 8. And I became the little starlet of this little mom and pop studio. And my older sister was like, wow, she's good at this and she really wants to do this. And she investigated a professional ballet company in the area. And she told them on the phone, because my parents are Spanish speaking English as a second language. And so she would take the parenting role a lot, even though she was only 7 years older than I. She told them on the phone, oh yeah, she's great. Like, she should come audition. Do you have scholarships? Because our dad's a blue collar worker. He has his own mechanic shop. And she called them and made this appointment, and I showed up. And long story very short, it was an 1.5 hour classical ballet class at the advanced professional level. And who was I in there? A 12-year-old Lucille Ball. They went to the left, I went to the right. They went up, I went down. He was speaking French. I had never heard those words in my life. The skirt I had on came untied and fell on the floor. I tripped one of the most beautiful dancers in the room by getting in front of her while she was leaping across the room. It was a disaster. But I was a child, and so I kept going. And when it was all said and done, I stayed the whole 1.5 hours. I didn't know what the heck was going on in that room. And I thought I was the star of my other studio. When it finished, he took my sister and I aside, and he said, she knows nothing, but she's got a good physique for ballet, and she's got a lot of heart. If she is willing to show up at the 4-year-old class every Saturday morning, now I was 5 feet at 12 years old, 4-year-old class. And in the evenings on Mondays, the 7:30 adult women class, these were senior women. If she's willing to do that for a couple of years, I could get her caught up to the girls her age, the girls and boys, but mostly girls her age. I became a professional ballet and contemporary dancer within 5 years. But I did blindly everything he told me, no matter how uncomfortable, how fearful, how embarrassing, how foolish it looked or felt. I was in a photograph with the 4-year-olds, all in pink from head to toe, and I looked like their mother. But it didn't matter, because what I wanted was my purpose. Do you see how when you have your purpose clear and it's away from your ego, you'll do anything? So here's 5 quick ways to overcome fears you might not even know you have. Can I reveal my new fear to you? Because you might be a solution for me. Yes? I am realizing, and now it's no longer a fear because I have awareness around it, that it is time for me to go from one-to-one clients to build a community where it's less expensive for all of you to come, be together, you hear from each other. It's like a whole thing. And at the end of it, COVID be damned, we will have a celebration of transformation in the real life. I live at the beach. There's a little B&B I want to use it for. We will dance the night away, hors d'oeuvres and beverage on me, and we will celebrate where we began and how far we've come in 6 months or a year. Okay, this is a beautiful idea. There's nothing wrong with it. What is keeping me from launching? Well, now that I've said it out loud for the last 2 weeks, I'm launching in September, right? But what was keeping me was people might not show to my party. What if I don't fill it to capacity? I have this number in my head. Now, how will I know that if I was never to do it? But this is what the ego will do. It will do it to keep you comfortable and to keep you safe. So here's the 5 quick ways that you can do on a daily. Anything you do every day. Trust me, I did first position pliés every day. Eventually, I was in American Ballet Theater, and guess who was next to me doing first position pliés? Mikhail Baryshnikov. Why? Because you've got to know your fundamentals, your practices. Your mindful morning ritual is everything, no matter what hour you do it at. Right? So if you want a mindful morning ritual, make sure I have your email in the chats, and it will be just a gentle reminder and suggestion. You can fill in the blanks the way you want, but I will tell you exactly what can change your life and business on a daily, every day. Name it, face it, see it for what it really is. Do you remember? Oh, come on, Lori, look under the bed. There's no monster there. Come on, let me give you the flashlight. Shine the flashlight. Once you shine light on it and say, I'm afraid because I think no one will show to my party, I'm not afraid of it anymore. Because I go, wait, is that true? Oh my God, that sounds ridiculous. Here we are at a party. We're all here. Everybody showed. Everybody who's meant to be here is here. Know yourself, but not like you think you know yourself. Know yourself like as if you were giving birth to yourself all over again. Know what drives you, what holds you back. Know your self-talk and know how you can rewrite it. Know what really, really matters to you. Like, oh, this matters to me. I'd like to make money and have financial freedom. But wait, why does that matter to you? Oh, because I'd like to retire my husband. But wait, why would you like to do that? Well, so we could see our adult kids and travel more. Well, but wait, but why? Right? So if you keep asking yourself, just like a little toddler, you will come to the real crux of it. And it is, I want a connected, peaceful, joyful, and equanimity in my life and with my husband and my kids at any age, right? We all have what we really, really want. So know yourself, be with yourself, be able to love all the aspects of yourself. How long did this take me? It took me too long because I did it in a very systemized way, but now I've condensed it into 4 sections, 3 weeks each. If you do this, you won't be anywhere because there's no final destination, but you will be freed of the things that are holding you. And at the same time, you'll be getting paid to do what you want to do, Brandy. You could do that tomorrow. You could find a client that would pay you for what you think you want to offer them tomorrow. That I can say, no holds barred. So move your body. I hate the word exercise, and I am super physical. I was a fitness teacher. Sometimes I taught craziness, like 5, 6, 7 classes a day on a stage with a mic going nuts. Wouldn't do that today. Too much energy. But I still move my body how I want to move it, when I want to move it, every day, preferably to a sweat. There is no better exercise for your spine and your whole muscularity and your nervous system and your mental well-being than walking. Throw your sneakers on and go for a walk, but do it every day. Put an app on your phone that tells you that you walked those half a mile, 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles a day. Relax intentionally. The ocean was so beautiful yesterday. Joe and I got in and just laid down. Do you know that I did not know how to float until like a year ago? Because I was holding on to too much. Unpack yourself and watch how lightly you can float. Watch how lightly you can go through your day. And then nourish yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, and your heart. Quit watching violence just because your spouse or your partner wants to do it. Read instead. He'll put on his mafia movies. I put my headset in and grab a book. You do what you want to nourish you. You're such a precious being. Sometimes we treat our pets or our best friend or our child or our plants better than we're treating ourselves. So nourish every part of you and then believe like never before. I'm not asking you to have a faith base or a certain spiritual practice. You could believe in the magnificence that is you. Whatever you believe in, and one of the things that will make you visible is to believe in your message. So now, we've cleared out, we've eliminated a little bit of the garbage, right? So we have some clarity. We've hit some courage, right? Because now you know, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of the dark. All I have to do is turn on the flashlight. There's a monster in the closet. Let me open the closet and give them a name. We'll become best friends, have cookies and milk, right? So whatever your fear is, name it, you're building your courage. And now all you need is conviction. You see, these kind of go circularly. Your conviction gives you clarity. Your clarity gives you courage. Your courage gives you confidence. And it just keeps going. I'll say that again. Your conviction, your belief, your purpose gives you clarity. Your clarity allows you to act in courage, and your courage builds your confidence. We think it's the other way around. Oh, she's so talented. Oh, he's so outgoing. Oh, he was given the money by whoever. No, it's just conviction. If you don't believe in yourself or your service or your product more than the general public, why should they listen and believe you? So if you come out every day and you say, this is what I believe and this is why I believe it and this is how it can help you, and I hear you. I hear that you're lacking confidence to speak in public. I hear that you're not showing up on Facebook Live or social media. I hear that you haven't had an event yet to tell people what it is that you do or what it is that you sell. Why is that? Let's figure it out. Let's do something. You need community. You are here. Already you should be celebrating today. Like, woohoo, I'm here. Because you now have a community. If we, just the people who showed up today, made the effort that it takes, which is a very small effort nowadays, think how easy it is, right? You just have to drop a message in Facebook Messenger or a text or a call or an email, right? You just have to pick up the phone. Like, it's so easy today. It used to be harder and people had more community because they didn't move away. And, you know, there was a lot of reasons, lived off the land. That's a whole talk for another day. But the bottom line is no one excels alone. To this day, I know yoga now for 25 years. I practice 3 to 5 times a week. 2 to 3 of those times I practice with a teacher, even on Zoom. My practice goes deeper when she's guiding me than when I'm guiding me. You cannot maximize your potential, build your business quickly alone. That doesn't mean you're going to pay every single person. It just means you're going to have that giver's mentality and be open to receive. You receive from the back of you, physically, chakra-wise. Your heart opens from behind for receiving. That's probably where you're the tightest. Hunched at a computer, on a phone, whatever you do, right? That's what you want to open up and stretch and expand. In the front, we give love. In the back and in 3 dimensions, we receive it. You've got to be opening yourself, not just to give, but to be open to receive from other people. And that includes truthful, trusted feedback from people you know, love, trust, and that know, love, trust you. And they can't do that if they can't see you. So vision, your vision, builds courage, confidence, and influence. But what is your vision? What is it that you see in the product, service, idea, people you want to serve? What is that vision? I see a world of business women and a few amazing gentlemen that lead with heart. They've made the bridge from their head to their heart. And they show empathy and caring and integrity when they do business. And they serve exponentially in whatever industry you're in. If you're another coach, great. If you're a speaker, let's have at it. If you're selling, Sonia is an essential mosquito repellent and CBD product woman. Sonia's Essentials, amazing woman, right? She's doing her own thing, but she's got to get it out there. If no one knows what her vision is and her story, why did she start that company? You'd love to hear that. So what is your clear and current goal? This is going to be a journaling moment. I'm finally going to shut my trap for a few minutes. What is your clear and current goal? What are your unique skills and abilities? And name a strength you have and recognize regularly. If you have a single strength that you are not recognizing in yourself regularly, you'll start today. But name that strength. If you were to ask someone to tell you, what are my strengths? What would they say about you? That helps if you haven't thought about this before. I'm going to silence my mic and let you write for about 1.5 minutes. I used to hate the journaling moments, by the way, at webinars and retreats and talks. So be disciplined, have conviction, and answer these questions now because you might not get to them later. I'm giving you a full minute more instead of 30 seconds, a full minute more. Just keep writing. I'll be right with you. Time flies when you're focused, but let's have someone speak who hasn't yet. Tell us your clear and current goal. How about Mary Ann? Mary Ann? You're unmuted, you can speak.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you're asking me what my goals are.
I want one clear and current goal.
Okay, my one clear goal is to build up my customer base. And my goal is to obtain 2 consultants on my team.
Excellent. And what do you provide your customers?
I provide good service, customer service, and I also have patients.
Good. And what is your business? What is your business? What business is it?
I'm a skin consultant for Rodan and Fields.
Excellent. Oh, Rodan and Fields, it's a great product and great company. Good for you. Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Marianne. Martha, I haven't heard from you today. Martha, your clear and current goal.
Okay, my clear and current goal is to become debt-free and then purchase a house in Marco Island for our family to gather and our friends to use to gain respite.
Good. I'm going to keep up with you because I like the way you're dreaming very big and giving us an actual vision for yourself and your family. So tell me your unique skill or skills and abilities. Anything that you want to share, with just one or two. I know you have many.
I think I am kind and compassionate, and I'm a very good listener.
Beautiful. And what strength do you bring to being a listener, compassionate person? In other words, what are your strong points?
I think time brings wisdom and tenacity.
Tenacity is a good one, sticking to itness. Mm-hmm. So if you could do anything at all specifically right now in terms of a business product, service, or idea that you want to get out in the world, what is that?
Well, I am a rep for Monate, the natural based hair and skin products.
Excellent. So you're building that business in order to meet your vision of your house and Marco Island and free time. Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us. Well, let's move on because it sounds like you guys have some big current goals and we've got to get you visible. Viral visibility, what we all hope for. I have a little girl. She's not little anymore. She's grown adult. Her name is Alyssa. You can follow her as Alyssa in the City. And she is a fashion editor, a brand influencer, a copywriter, among many other things. She happens to be my 26-year-old daughter. She has over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and she is like nobody else you see out there. How did that happen? I ask myself every day, trust me. Yes, she had a great education. But what she does is she shows up for herself and others every day in every way she can. She's not hiding anything. Some people don't love it. Some people don't like it. It's not their style. What happened to Alyssa? Does she really like those clunky shoes? No, but they're Burberry and they're paying her to wear them, right? So everyone will have an opinion, but that has never stopped her from being herself, pursuing what she wants to pursue or creating. So I ask you this, step one, before you ever turn on that web camera, make the social media post, throw the event and webinar, show up for yourself and others every day in every way you can. Generosity and happiness come before success, not after. Generosity and happiness breed success. You don't wait to be successful to be happy and generous. I had the gift, oh my gosh, the universe does provide. I'll tell you exactly how it went down. I won't say his name because he's a local great PR guy, but I was about to pay him some money right at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm talking, thousands of dollars to do some public relations work for me. And when he sent me the proposal, I was like, this sounded like a great idea. I was going to be all over local television telling people how to keep their mind and health calm and centered during crisis, right? It was great. We had a great press release that I wrote up and sent to him. And he was ready to jump on board. But then when he sent me the proposal for thousands of dollars, I decided, wait a minute, I think this pandemic, this virus is going to be bigger than we think. Now, this is end of January, beginning of February, when we were just finding out about it. February, I guess, right? I didn't do it, but I meditated prayed, centered myself, whatever you want to call it. And I said, I just need more exposure right now. This thing is going to hit us big time, and people are going to need what I've got. Get me out there, universe. Get me out there, God. How am I going to do this, right? As luck will have it, I turn on my computer one morning after I've done my mindful morning ritual. Please give me your email. Don't forget that. That's important. But after I've done all my morning ritual, which is short, by the way, I don't make it take a whole long time. After I've done that, I turn on my laptop and Gary V is on Facebook Live. Gary Vaynerchuk. The book, James, you want this book. Jab, 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 right hook. Jab, 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 right hook. It's all about marketing and being visible in social media. Gary is a potty mouth, although he's gotten better because he's built an audience of different ages and identities and everything. And so he's gotten better, but he used to drop a lot of F-bombs, but it was natural to him. He's a Jersey guy, son of immigrants. He's made a huge media influence company, you name it, he's done it. He's humongous. Wine company, by the way, if you're a wine enthusiast, you want to sign up for his Text to Wine. It's really great wine for really inexpensive prices. If you don't drink, you at least want to go on YouTube and watch Gary V. So I turn it on and he's live. Now, years ago, I knew about him and I had judged him instead of learned. Oh, too many F-bombs, too much male energy for me. So see, be careful, right? What you give meaning to. But here he was, I kept it on. During the pandemic, he was offering 1 hour, not 1 minute, 1 hour Facebook Lives. Ask me anything, let's talk about anything. And he had tech team helping him. And if you raised your hand, he might put you on live. Now he's international and there are literally like 10,000 people on the call. And guess who gets on with him? Screen share. He'd never seen me, right? But I said to the universe, give me a sign. If he picks me out of all these people, it's a sign that I am meant to help people during this time and onward in a bigger way. Of course he picked me. Once you say that to the higher powers that are, the story, the moral of the story is if I didn't show up for myself and if I wasn't hungry to show up for others, he wouldn't have picked me. I made that happen. You are a human creator. You are a powerful manifester. And all you have to do is take the actions while you're doing the asking. Pay close attention. Observe, listen, ask, reply, repeat. It's like wash, rinse, repeat. Observe, listen, ask, reply. I didn't write repeat, but you get the idea. So show up for yourself and others. Pay close attention. If I didn't pay attention, I wouldn't have known how to enter my question to him. If I didn't pay attention, I wouldn't have noticed that his helper was texting me on my phone, telling me exactly what to do to get on this show. If I didn't keep showing up, I wouldn't have gotten on because the first day I didn't get on, but they kept texting me and they said, tomorrow's for real, like you're next in the queue, so show up. I showed up. Speak the truth kindly. You can go listen to me on his podcast. Yes, Gary V podcast. I sound like a mad woman. I am not a fangirl. I have danced with John Travolta. I've been in a movie with Tom Cruise, not to name drop here, right? I've been to the Super Bowl, to the private party. You name it. I've had bigger things happen that I couldn't have even conceived of, right? However, I was starstruck because I was on live and there was people from all over the world. And what he said was just keep doing what you're doing. You're so authentic. You're so happy. You're so enthusiastic. You're so generous. Keep doing that. Don't worry about anything else. So when I tell you, be happy and generous and the business will succeed, think of your life that way. What's the worst that could happen? We talked about that earlier. What could go wrong? You'll be happy and generous. So if the business doesn't go, you try another business, right? But the chances of it not going, if you're approaching it that way, are very slim. You are a purposeful and powerful creator. Quit telling yourself otherwise. You are a purposeful and powerful creator. You were made that way. And the only thing you're afraid of is what that power and what that success asks of you and looks like. You also might be afraid of what others think. You might be afraid of making a mistake. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. First grade teacher of my nieces said, look, Jack made a mistake. Everybody clap. He just learned something. Every teacher should be like that, right? You are made to create, and you might be standing in your own way. So let's play. It is your turn. Everybody's hitting the mic today. Have you noticed? That's why I keep saying somebody who didn't come to the mic yet. I love your time at the mic. This is your assignment. You're going to need a minute to think it out and plan it so that you can come to us prepared in the next couple of minutes. So tell us your name. We're all good at that. My name is. Share your company name, the purpose for which it exists, your website, or how to get in touch with you. Look, pointing out my own mistakes. It should say in touch with you. In touch with you. In touch with you. It looked like touch yesterday, but it says in touch with you. If you don't have a website, just how we can get in touch with you. And then I want you to begin a sentence that says, and if you really knew me, you would know that there is nothing that makes me happier than the beach. There is nothing I have missed more during this pandemic than my 2 adult children, Joseph and Alyssa. And you would know that even though I still have the figure of a teenage girl, I really like to eat ice cream. You would know these things if you really, really knew me. You would see me eating my Magnum popsicle at night, okay? And then ask a question of us to do with your business or give us a call to action. What does that mean? My ask would be, would you please take me up on the breakthrough call? It is not a sales call. It is a call to help you make a breakthrough. The first time I spoke with a coach was more than a decade ago, and I'm living exactly what she had me envision on that 1 30-minute call 10 years ago. Anne Ferrier is her name. You can look her up. So I'm asking you, book the free call, because if you don't, what have you got to lose? It's no money, no time, 30 minutes, and you might come away with something that will change you or your business for the better, right? So that's an ask or a call to action. And then the hint is, it's always engaging to begin and end with gratitude. So I would say, oh my goodness, Carol, from my heart, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to your group today and to become part of Beautiful Faces Going Places, because I am, and because you are, and because we're meant to be together moving forward. It's just the beginning. When you say I do, I've been married 34 years to the same man. When you say I do, trust me, it's not the end, it's just the beginning, right? So this is just the beginning. And then you end with, take me up on whatever, or let me talk to you about this, or let's have a conversation one-to-one on Wednesday for 20 minutes about blank, and thank you so much for your time and attention. So go ahead and have a minute to prepare this, because then we're going to swiftly go through. It's about 20 seconds a piece. I just wanted to give you examples so you wouldn't feel like, what am I doing here? And you do not read it. That's another hint for my public speaking clients. If you want to do webinars, workshops, go be on stages, see me, okay? Because I get paid bukus to speak on stages, and I can help you do the same eventually. And it just takes practice, right? So I will tell you right now, short and sweet, 30 seconds, okay? Like you're at a BNI meeting, but better. I am going to mute myself and let you just get this down, and then don't memorize it or read it. Just have the bullet points and tell us from your heart who you are, who your company is, what the purpose of it is, how to get in touch with you, or tough. And if you really knew me, you would know that. And I would love for you to blank, and thanks so much. Okay? I'll be with you in a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Okay, so we're running a little bit behind, Carol, so I'm going to kind of hurry it up, and I'm only going to allow, please tell me you'll still like be okay with me if I only allow, let me show my video again, sorry. There we are. If I only allow about 3 of us to verbally share this, because I want to get to the last few slides, and we are going to run slightly over time. I respect your time, so let's do this.
I think that sounds like a great strategy. And if anyone has to leave, but we completely understand, if you've got the time and continue with us, we'd love to have you to stay on board. And yeah, so I think that's a great idea, Maritza.
Yeah, because this is leading to your moment on the camera today. So if you can stay, do that for yourself. Thank you, Carol, for mentioning that. And out of respect, if you're saying goodbye, put it in the chat. Just drop your email, say bye, and we'll be in touch again, okay? So who would like to go first that we haven't heard at the mic today?
I'll go.
Carol, hi.
Another Carol. I'm Carol Walkner. My business is called the Power and Light Company. And I am a Reiki master and a clairvoyant medium. And if you really knew me, you would know that I see live people in your life and help with relationships that are currently going on. And what I would ask is, if you're ready to release your anxiety and your stress, which we're all under, I can help with that. And I can help open your heart as well through Reiki and the mediumship. And I thank Carol Dockum for putting this together. And I'm really honored and grateful to be in the Zoom room with everyone. And my website is carolwalkner.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Beautifully said and shared. Who would like to go next? It's only going to be 2 more, so unmute yourself if you're compelled to share this now.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else went at the same time or not.
I heard you, Teresa, first, so go ahead, and then the next person that spoke might have been Brandy, and then we'll go to Brandy.
Okay. I am Teresa Vermillion. My company is Lighter Life Coach. The purpose is to help women empower and encourage women to embrace their inner strength and beauty and their outer strength and beauty. And if you really knew me, you would know that I am obsessed with my dog, and I love to be outside, and I love ice cream too. Please reach out to me for a one-on-one. I'm really interested in getting to know each of you on a more personal level, and I would love to connect with you in that way. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. Everyone that's on this call today, Carol and Maritza, for sharing so much great information with us. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Brandy, did you speak up after Teresa? Was I right?
Sure, yes. So my company will be called a Mode, and it is a space to connect, to learn, and to inspire. If you knew me, you would know that I am a fanatic for personal development and a lifelong learner and a fellow yogi. I would ask you to please join me in educating and inspiring our community and being part of my mission when it is available to all of us. And I just want to extend my appreciation to Maritza. You've done such a beautiful job today. I'm inspired, and I think that your message was clear, and I certainly have a lot of great takeaways today. So thank you for your time.
That is so great. Brandy, do I have your permission to coach and kind of create something with you in the moment?
Please do.
Would you be my experiment for this afternoon?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So are you open to the idea that today, in this moment, your business is Mode?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's step 1. today, right now, everybody, you are watching the premiere of Mode by Brandy White. Can we give her a hand? Okay, so your business is Mode. And you said it so beautifully. You connect, you want people to connect, to learn, to be inspired. You want them to be part of your community. And guess what? You just met the first people who are going to support you in that quest. So you now have one community. The cool thing about communities is that they are not monogamous relationships. They are polygamous relationships that are legal. You can have all the different communities. You can have the one you lead, you can have the one you attend, you can have the one you speak at. It's a beautiful thing. I went from one day 5 years ago thinking I had no friends and community to having more communities than I can keep up with. So today is the birthday of Mode.
I like
it is
that.
not what you're going to do, and there's nothing you need to learn that doesn't allow you to go into business now. Will you need an LLC? Will you need a website? Well, yes. Do you need that to start your business today? No. Promise, you don't need it. Okay? Thank you for allowing me to do that in front of everyone. All right. I would love for more people to go. Please don't be mad at me. And if you are, oh well. But you get the idea, and now you have this, because today you're going to do a simple formula on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. I'm not talking video. I'm not talking editing. I'm talking you are getting out there. You're either going to do it as a post with your picture or a live, and you're going to empathetically say, I might know how you feel, because if you're at all like me, so that's the first step, right? You're showing empathy. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, even if nobody shows up, they will start to show up in the future. You don't have to wait for them to show up. And they might show up while you're there. So first thing you want to do is show empathy. Second thing you want to do is be yourself. You can say, oh my gosh, believe it or not, I foolproofed my presentation today 3 times. And when I said keep in touch, I put it up and it said keep in tough. What that does is endear people and relate to people to the fact that you're just like them. You might know something in a particular capacity. You might be able to help them. That doesn't mean you're better than them or they're better than you. We're all on equal ground. Credibility. You might not have social proof yet, but you always have your own before and afters. Think about why you started or why you developed the service or why you want to do the thing, and just share, this is how I was, this is how I am now. In the past, I was terrified to come on here. In the past, I didn't make this post because I thought I would make mistakes or didn't know how. Now, if you don't know how, don't let that get in your way. This is the Google. The Google teaches you everything today. That's what my daughter's boyfriend calls it to me because he makes fun of me being older. It's the Google, Mama, he says. You say, hey, Siri, how do I go live on Facebook? And she brings up a bunch of information, tells you step by step. So if there's something you don't know how to do, the next step, if that doesn't help you, is that you book the call with me, and together I'll walk you through it, right? That'll only take us 5 minutes. Then we can do the other 25 of our conversation. But you're going to take this simple formula of being empathetic, authentic, and credible, and you're going to take the information you just shared with us of, hi, my name is Maritza, my business is MC Coaching, my purpose in living is to have you build your confidence and shine your light on you and your business. So you lead irresistibly, you speak compellingly, and you grow yourself and your business exponentially. Would you like to join me? Done, right? There you go. So today I'm going to be looking for all of you on Facebook. I'm going to be friending you. And I know that at some point before you go to bed tonight, there's going to be some kind of post on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't care what platform you choose that feels comfortable. If it's TikTok, all you have to do is get on there and do the twist like I did when I was a little kid and post it. That's all they want, right? So get out there and do it. And you will notice that the first time is the scariest. And from then on, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and it doesn't matter. Right? What could possibly go wrong? Remember that slide? And then what? No children are harmed in the process, thank goodness, right? This was at my friend Marla. She's so tiny that she's hidden here behind one of her sister-in-laws at her daughter's wedding. And the reason I use this here is because, not only because we look like we're at the Oscars, it was the most glamorous wedding at the St. Regis in Marietta, Georgia I have ever been to, off the charts. But I wanted to share with you a funny thing. I had a black dress, it was a black tie. I had a black dress to wear, and around lunchtime, one of our friends said, I want to go to the mall because I forgot my hair thingy, will you come with me? And I tried on this dress. I bought it in that moment, wore it to the wedding a couple of hours later. It was so uncomfortable that it cut my armpits, but it looked like $1 million. But the most important part of this is none of that. We all look glamorous, beautiful. It was an amazing evening. But what you can see here is the love. Beth, for some reason, has been brought to tears, either of emotion or laughter. Marla, we can hardly see, but she's totally with us, right? And you can see that I am just enjoying myself beyond. I could have a bathrobe on and it wouldn't matter, right? So this is where empathy, authenticity, and credibility come in. It's not the outside, it's what happens from the inside. Comparison is a killjoy. Do not go looking for other people with a product similar, or another coach with a similar message, or me, or anyone, and pretend to be them. Be your best self at the present moment, whatever that looks like. If you look at mine, you're gonna see me some days where I'm sweaty, no makeup, didn't shower. You're gonna see me in my bathrobe. You can ask Sonia, she's been following me for a while, and you're gonna see me glammed up for a video shoot. Every which way, show up as you are in the moment. Because everyone else is taken and you're great at being you. The minute I start comparing myself, and I still catch myself, at least I catch myself doing it, it's totally a buzzkill. It brings down my vibe and I don't even want to go live. So don't worry about that. Now, it's different than being guided by someone who knows what they're doing. Sure, ask questions. Sure, look and say, wait, how did she like that? How did she do that? But the minute you start comparing yourself, shut it off. You are free to be. So now you want to speak truthfully, clearly, and compellingly. You want to tell them who you are, why you're on here, what you have for them. You want to invite them and tell them how to get a hold of you. That's what we did earlier. Who, why, what, an invitation and a how. That's a whole evening talk. You could get paid to give a speech this way. Who am I? Who are you? Why is this for you? What have I got? Will you be a part of it? This is how you get a hold of me. Done. Ask me anything. I'm all yours. You can ask me anything. I'm transparent. It doesn't have to be about being visible, vocal, and vital in your industry, but no one else can be you. And nothing makes you more vital than having fun being yourself. It's easier said than done. Julia Roberts won Oscars and makes buku bucks just because she's really good at being Julia. Your questions. What'd you take away? How are you going to show up now? Who's guiding you and holding you accountable? What can I answer for you that you don't know how to do or want to know more about? Now is your time. I am going to stop share for a minute. I'll go back to it later. There you all are.
It was just incredible.
Well, I went long-winded, but there's so much goodness.
There is so much goodness
here.
I know. I'm thinking for sure I'm going to watch the replay. I took a gazillion notes, and I'd love to open it up for just a Q&A, maybe another 5 minutes, and then we will log off and get ready for tomorrow. But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Maritza. You are just amazing. All right, we'll open it up for Q&A.
I'm saving the chat. I know a lot of you have been messaging and I can't read them and be with you at the same time. So I saved the chat and then later I'll be in touch with you. James? You have a question?
No, I just wanted to thank you. I enjoyed your talk.
Thanks for being here. Such silence, radio silence, they call that, right? Carol, I want to speak to Carol Walkner. Carol, you can unmute yourself. Yes. I've done some work with many people that are intuitive, channelers, healers, Reiki. It is really incredible. About 2 or 3 years ago, you know, this work is never finished, people. And about 2 or 3 years ago, somebody recommended that I do it again when I shared something with them. And releasing what I released that day and working with her, Jill Ann Schneider, I don't know if you know Jill Ann. Jill Ain, it's A-Y-N, Jill Ain Schneider does similar work, I'm sure, to yours. It was so freeing. Really, all you're trying to do, everybody, is liberate yourself. Is that not true, Carol?
Totally, yes, yes.
Yeah,
And a lot of
really,
a lot of our energy is ancestral, and we carry trauma from grandparents and great grandparents, and it's time to let it go so we can live our best lives.
and when we do that, we bring so many people along with us. When we
Yes.
live our best lives, then everybody who was present gets to live a better life. And if we all do that, especially people like you, right? Like each and every one of you, it makes a positive difference in the world. And if someone is hurting you, something is hurting you in your mind, in your body, in your heart, in any which way, you deserve better. Free yourself. No one will do it for you. I give you permission right now. I'll pretend to be your mommy and I give you permission. Ancestral, yes. When she was working on me, she freaked me out because she was working on my tummy to release my low back. And she said, tell me about your grandmothers. And I was like, why are you asking me that? And she said, it just came to me, like I'm a channel. Let me tell you, there was a lot going on about my grandmamas. That's a story for another day. So releasing that was magic. Lori, I haven't heard from you. Unmute yourself, please, Lori, if you would be so kind. What'd you take away? You're still here, and I'm happy to have you here with us.
It's a good presentation.
Thank you.
My daughter's like your daughter. She's very creative, and that the tech part comes really natural for that age group. I'm so jealous.
I agree. I am too. Yeah. Don't worry too much about the tech because the first steps of doing it are so user-friendly. The worry is bigger than the activity. Does that make sense? You know how that is with things that are new. Like I was so afraid of things that then weren't difficult. And I thought, well, that was silly. Like, it's not difficult. And for a minute, they made it harder. They changed something and you had to go through Zoom. And then they fixed it because we were all like, what are you doing, Facebook? So really, Facebook is the way, for especially for our demographic. But Instagram and LinkedIn and all of them are pretty darn easy. And if you do something wrong, it's so easy to undo it, Lori. And seriously, book the call if you want the help. And if you don't want it from me, I don't get the help from my kids. They don't have time. They both have pretty massive careers now. And I every now and then I'll get one quick question in, but they don't really help me hands-on, but I've found a lot of other people that will. Everyone is really generous if you just ask. Carol will help, I'll help. I'm volunteering you, Carol. Dockum. All right, well, I thank you all. Sonia, you haven't spoken at all while you've been here. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything you want to share with the group or with me real quick before we log off?
Well, you have been my inspiration. Every time you speak, you inspire me. You make me feel like I can get out there and really take over the world. So I appreciate you.
I'm so glad. I appreciate you too.
Yeah.
I appreciate my community. And I want you guys to know that there's a lot of strategy and actionable work that I do. So you're in phase 1 of finding out about this. But when it comes to like, how am I going to get the referrals? What should I charge? How do I, make those first few sales? Just ask me, ask Carol, because it's not as difficult as it looks. And if you're already in business, so I see Tim is all set up with his branding and he probably does really great videos. I'm going to be in touch with him, right? So if what you want is to like take that next leap, like how do I really blow this up? If that's what you want. And if you don't want that, whatever question you might have, whatever keeps you up, wakes you up at 3 or 4 in the morning, find someone and ask them because the answers are easier than you think. Easier than you think. I know I've kept you a long time and you're still here. I'm turning it back over to Carol.
Wow. Well, Maritza, I cannot thank you enough for saying yes to being our special guest speaker and presenter and trainer today. This has just been an inspiring, aspiring, and so many takeaways. I actually cannot wait to watch the replay. And I know all of our attendees will get the replay, and I will also send the saved chat to everyone as well. So you'll be receiving that this evening. And you were just incredible, Maritza. I cannot wait. As you mentioned earlier today, we are kind of beginning our journey together, and I cannot wait to continue to work with you. I think we've got a lot of impact to do and magic to create here. So thank you again, Maritza. Thank you, Jim, for facilitating, being my wingman here today.
Girl.
And we will see you guys tomorrow. Feel free on social media to give some shout outs to Maritza or to any of the other attendees today. Let's help give each other inspiration. So that would be awesome. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So it's going to be another impactful day. So tomorrow it's about, actually, it's all about productivity. So what to say yes to, what to say no to. So we have a productivity training coach tomorrow, Julie Miller-Davis, which will be phenomenal. So let's continue learning and growing this week together. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.